Little Joe is a film about a female scientist.
She's very professional and very respected. She's very senior bioengineer.
And she creates a plant. And the plant she is inventing is supposed to make people happy. It's a very modern topic. It's a very revolutionary field in science at the moment. There are a lot of new things discovered. This, of course, opens up the question of responsibility of the scientists who work with those inventions. And my opinion is that no one can really know what will happen. And this is a threat, if you want. But it doesn't say that necessarily things go down or go bad. The fear that we have about scientific inventions is also sometimes proved to be wrong. Sometimes science, and especially genetics, is improving our well-being. A scientist should be able to say, I'm giving my best, but people listen, I don't know what the final outcome will be and if there will be any side effects that I have just not seen. We like to say exact sciences, but they're not at all exact. Science is like art, it's about intuition and guessing, and I think scientists should admit this, then they would be more trustworthy.
She has a lot of responsibilities, so she has a lot of pressure. And she also really, really believes in what she does and loves what she does. And she feels a lot more confident in her career than in her personal life, which is a lot harder to control, or she's not so confident romantically, she's not interested in that. And also with her son, he's growing into a teenager and he's wanting to make decisions for himself. And so she's struggling a little bit with that.
Women are working and women take a lot of interest in what they do, and I think we all agree that it's good that women proceed into the first row of also within politics, science, whatever subject. So, but the same question is also who takes care of our children. And I think the first step would be to understand that a mother, yes, she loves her child, but she also loves her profession, and I think we still sometimes have a quite antique picture of motherhood.
Jessica and I discuss Emmanuelle Charpentier, who is a French genetic engineer, and she discovered this revolutionary gene editing tool called CRISPR-Cas9. But in interviews, she mentioned that she has difficulties, and similarly to Jane Goodall, who pioneered chimpanzee research, because she had to dedicate herself to the chimpanzees. Her toddler, her small son, it wasn't so safe for him to be there, so he had to go off and live with his father, and his father couldn't do his job out there, so she kind of had to sacrifice that close relationship, sacrifice living with her small child and her partner to enable her to carry on her work. So that was an interesting topic as well. So we talked a lot about dedicating yourself to work and that conflict between your personal life and that.
But I think we should see a mother the same way as we see a father. The father loves his child and he is engaged in his work. And I think it's this image of mothers that has to change. And in my film, it's actually a happy end. The mother is taking a decision which in some countries she would be punished for because the mother prefers her work. But I don't see it like that. In my film, it's a positive end. It's actually a happy end. Happiness is an idea, I think. It's a longing that our society is promoting quite a lot. So I think we live in a society where happiness is a very worthy wealth. So the longing for happiness is quite strong.
I think it's an interesting idea for the film that there are plants marketed that would make you feel good. And if you believe there's no consequence, why not? I mean, people do get therapeutic benefits from plants anyway.
I think it's not possible to really reach that sort of happiness, because happiness is something that comes and goes. You cannot force it, you cannot hold it. And this is hard to accept, that finally we can dream of certain things that we think might make us happy. But if we take a closer look, as soon as those desires become true, at the same time they often vanish again, and the happiness we were looking for is not there. So it's a very abstract word, actually, happiness. I think it's in our heads more than in reality.
So yeah, I think as a society we're all conditioned to believe that we all should have this certain type of happiness. I think it also gets manipulated by consumerism, and advertisement is very deliberately manipulative. So I think that also confuses people as to what their ideal life is and what their ideal of happiness is.